Any preacher that gets up and brings any accusation against any miracle written here. You see, I'm going to end with this. We live in a time where there's so much deception. Some preachers down from seminary school have got so high in God, supposedly, that they explain away the physical miracles in this book, Brother Jody, as only spiritual precepts to life. I've heard preachers take Luke 13 and just spiritualize it. A woman who was bound together with an infirmity. They don't say spirit of infirmity because they don't like to talk about demons. Oh God. Remember that old 80s movie? Remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Y'all remember that? Yeah, in the 80s. I remember seeing that thing. They've showed it to us in school. I remember one day we had some free time and preachers got in school and they said, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Well, in the modern church it could be said, Honey, we shrunk the devil. You see, we don't like to talk about a real devil. We don't like to talk about demons, unclean spirits, and stuff like that no more. Hell. Because see, the further you get away from Jesus, the further you get away from the reality of a real devil. I meet them everywhere I go. Come on, somebody. I have them manifest all over the place. I've had them manifest at Walmart where some church members pay their tithes. Walmart's an anointed place. There's so much tithes been paid at Walmart. I'm telling you, and you don't believe it, Walmart is such an anointed place. If you ain't seen nobody in a while, you don't got to get on Facebook to find them. Just go to Walmart. You'll run into them. Praise God. Amen. And I'll tell you the story some other time. But anyhow, I had a demon-possessed employee from Walmart with the blue vest and smiley face that was yellow. You know, manifest. Oh, you know, there ain't many of the checkout lines open anymore anyhow. Got 15 and only 2 open. Come on, everybody breathe. And all of them shut down that now. There weren't no more. The employee went to growling like a dog. And after I said, Jesus loves you. Literally happened, running away across Georgia. Come on, somebody. Everybody breathe. Before it was over with, them demons cried out and said, let us alone. That's found in Luke 4, verse 34. Same thing they told Jesus. And before it was over, the demons cried out and said, we know who you are. And that freak you out when a woman sounds like it. We know who you are. I said, well, don't tell me who I am. Manager grabbed me. I said, man, let me go and do it. He thought I was going to whoop upside the head. Come on, somebody, I fought on the devil. I said, tell me who I am if you know who I am. I promise you, there was no more everything. They said, we know who you are. You're Marvin Booth. We've dealt with you before. I forgot about the devil. I was about to shout and have you fear of it. Anybody breathe? I'm serious. That happened. I promise you it happened. And I got other stories too. But anyhow, but listen, I'm serious, it happened. I had a demon-possessed man years ago when Dylan and Brianna was little and real small when we lived in Waycross. Amen. They brought him there and the devil would be cast out of him. And time the demon-possessed boy come in the room, amen, his face changed, it altered, his eyes got beady, amen, and he started talking like an animal, growling, foaming out of his mouth like something trying to drive him down the wall, sling him down the wall when I walked toward him. And right before the demons come out of it, they said this, we hate your preaching. Man, I had me a fit right there. I forgot I was supposed to be casting the devil out. So I went down. Oh, Lord, thank you, Lord. I thought, man, the best compliment I ever received from my ministry was from a demon. I hated your preaching. I thought, man, that's the same devil operating in so many preachers that talk against me. Praise God. Feels good to be hated by the devil. But anyhow, honey, we shrunk the devil. It's almost like, you know what I'm saying? People get so far away from Jesus. And so in Luke 13, I've heard some of these preachers, they skip over the spirit of infirmity that's mentioned. Jesus was saying this woman's sick, afflicted because of a demon. Now everybody that's sick ain't from a demon. But I remember one night in a revival service up in Lyons, Georgia, at a Church of God. I was preaching one night, and the Holy Ghost had me to stop. I was having a healing service, and the Holy Ghost told me to stop. He said, somebody's here that's getting a miracle for their ear. Rebuke a spirit of infirmity called deafness. And I just stopped right while I was doing. I said, there's a spirit of deafness here, and God said it is cursed. I commanded it to come out in the name of Jesus. And a woman screamed to my left. I about left the building. I mean, it was one of them screams. And when she did, she went down as quick as she shouted it out. Ah! And she went down up under the pews. I thought, oh, Lord God, I killed her. She's dead. Oh, Lord, you're going to lock me up for sure. And she laid up under it the rest of the time I ministered. You might better scoot over. You finna roll out. Amen. But when she got up at the end of the service and all the calls, she was crying. She said, I was deaf in my left ear. And when you rebuked that, my ear opened, and that's why she screamed. You'd scream too if you ain't never heard nothing out of that ear, and all of a sudden, bam, there was noise. Sound clear. It was a devil. But not all sickness is caused by a devil. So I've heard some of these preachers explain away that they skip over stuff like that and they spiritualize everything. Everything's just spirit. But in Luke 13, it was a physical, literal miracle. A woman was bound together and could no wise lift up herself, bent over like an animal on all fours, walking that way for 18 years, bound, Jesus said, by Satan. Come on, somebody, a demon and a devil. And Jesus stretched forth his hand and said, woman, you're loose from the infirmity. Bones start popping and cracking and her body straightens up immediately right there in front of everybody's face. Somebody shout you. You can spiritualize it if you want to. And there's spiritual things you can glean from it. I'm not saying you can do that, but that is not the theme of the story. The theme of the story is Jesus has power over the flesh and the devil. He has power over whatever in your body is not supposed to be there. Amen. Glory to God. He conquers it if you believe. Come on, somebody. There ain't a devil. There ain't a sickness. There ain't a disease. Come on. Anybody hear him? He's Jesus Christ. The same yesterday, today, and forever. Hallelujah. Hebrews 13 today.